All right, we are going to be simplifying, multiplying, dividing, and adding rational expressions. So make sure you title your notes that. Simplifying, we're going to be multiplying, multiplying, dividing, adding, and subtracting. Rational expressions. Make sure you put your date, obviously, at the top here. Okay, so we'll do a few different kind. Rational expressions, simplifying. These are some examples, right? And then you're gonna go towards the end here and then do the homework on your own. I want all of these done, 1 through 20. And then we're going to do the adding and subtracting. We'll do these together and then you do the homework. All right? So this is due next week. Here we go. So we're going to simplify. We'll start easy. 20x to the 6th power divided by 14x squared. So we're dividing. We're looking for what can be factored. It says factor everything that can be factored, and then you simplify the binomials using your exponent rules. Eliminate common binomial factors as well. Make sure you know your rules, your product rule, quotient rule. Well, 20, this is division. 20 divided by 14, where you can divide a 2 into both. So 2 goes into 20 10 times. 2 goes into 14 7 times. You've got 6 x's up top. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 2 at the bottom. So division means to ration out 1 cookie for one friend, 1 cookie for the other friend. You have 4 cookies left, or you can just subtract the exponent. So you're dividing x to the 6th power divided by x squared, which is x to the 4th power. You're just simplifying. That's number 1. Number 2, 6k minus 36 divided by k minus 6. 6k minus 36 divided by k minus 6. We're factoring out. So we can factor first the 6 out from up top, and you're left with, so 6, we're going to factor the 6 out. 6 goes into 36 6 times. Double check what you did. 6 times k is 6k. 6 times negative 6 is negative 36. You're factoring the 6 out. Go ahead and write the denominator, x minus 6. So you factored out. Now we can cancel this binomial factor here. So we're left with just 6 is our answer. All right, number 3. Y plus 8, y squared plus 2y minus 48, y squared. You can do this in your packet or in your notebook. You pick one. Make sure you wrote the question correctly. All right, go ahead and just write the numerator as normal. We're going to factor out the denominator. So what times what gives you 48? Negative 48, but add it gives you 2. What times what gives you negative 48, but add it gives you 2. 12 times negative 4, or negative 4 times, or negative 12 times 4. We got 6 times negative 8. That one might be the winner. Why is that? Because if you take 8 plus a negative 6, or 8 minus 6, you will get 2. So those are your winning factors. So negative 6 and positive 8. Double check that. Negative 6 times 8 is negative 48. Negative 6 add 8 is a positive 2, or 8 minus 6, right, is 2. Okay, so we factored out the denominator. Now we can cancel out. It doesn't always work out this pretty, but the problems that we're giving you are going to be pretty good problems like this, where you can end up canceling out this y plus 8 and this y plus 8. You're left with 1 over y minus 6. Y plus 8 divided by y plus 8 is 1, divided by the factor left at the bottom, y minus 6. So you're just factoring out and simplifying. Number 4. 2r squared minus 2r minus 40. 2r squared minus 2r minus 40 divided by 8r plus 32. You want to factor a 2 out. 2 can go into all of these. So we have 2. Take a 2 out. You're left with r squared. You're left with r. And you're left with 20. You can take an 8 out. 8. You're left with 4. Double check your factoring out. 8 times r is 8r. 8 times 4 is 32. You're just factoring out. Not done yet. You can factor this polynomial out. So bring everything down like normal, right? We can factor out the numerator. Okay, so let's copy everything down, but we're going to factor this out now into 2 different binomials. So what times what will give you negative 20, but add it gives you a negative 1. Well, 5 and 4 are pretty close together, right? 5 and negative 5 times the negative, times the positive 4. You got 10 times 20, right? You got different options, 20 times 1. This one's the obvious one because 5 and 4 are 1 away from each other. So a negative 5 goes to negative, and a positive 4. Double check your work. Negative 5 times 4 is a negative 20. If you add them, negative 5, add 4, will give you a negative 1. Well, this is a pretty problem because your factors cancel out. You're left with 2 over 8, which is 1 over 4, and then r minus 5. You don't need this 1 times r minus 5. You just can keep 1 minus 5 divided by 4. These canceled out. 2 goes into 8, 1 over 4. You don't need the 1. Keep the r minus 5 up top. Keep your 4 at the bottom. R minus 5 over 4. See if you can try number 5, 6, 7, and 8 on your own. Go ahead and pause the video. All right, we are moving on to number 5. Hopefully you got number 5 correct. It's pretty straightforward. Number 5, p squared minus 49 divided by 7 minus p. Now, watch out for this one. Make sure you star this one. This is important. All right, we're going to go ahead and factor out. So, what times what is p squared? Well, p. And then what times what gives you negative 49? Well, a negative 7 times a positive. That will give you negative 49. And then negative 7, add 7 will give you 0. Nothing in the middle. No middle term. All right. Now, it looks like you can cancel out, but you cannot. Make sure you're reading the problem correct. P minus 7. This says 7 minus p. This is a negative p. That's a positive p. This is a positive 7. So you cannot cancel these out. But there's a rule. If you have opposites, negative a minus b divided by b minus a equals negative 1. They're opposites in a sense. So make sure you write that down. A minus b divided by b minus a equals negative 1. How do we know that? Well, let's try a problem. 4 minus 2 divided by 2 minus 4. They're opposites. What's 4 minus 2? 2. What's 2 minus 4? Negative 2. What's 2 divided by negative 2? Negative 1. You could try with any problem. 50 minus 5 divided by 5 minus 50. Opposites, right? 50 minus 5 is 45. 5 minus 50 is negative 45. 45 divided by negative 45 is negative 1. I wouldn't say it's a rule, it's math, right? If you take a number minus another number, but take that number minus that number, you're going to end up with negative 1 all the time. So look at this little key, this huge key. We've got P minus 7. We've got 7 minus P. These cancel out to be a negative 1. Put these keys on the side, right? These cancel out to be at negative 1. And then keep your P plus 7. Make sure you FOIL out. Negative 1 times P is negative 1P. Negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. You don't need a negative 1. Just put negative P. Negative P minus 7. All right, number 6. 12a. Hopefully you got this one correct as well. Hopefully you pause your video. 12a cubed minus 3a divided by 12a cubed plus 6a squared. Okay, you cannot just cancel these out. It doesn't work that way because you have these attached to it with the minus 3a. So first factor out the numerator. So 3 can go into 12 and 3. So let's go ahead and factor a 3 out. 3 goes into 12 4 times. We can also factor out an a. We have an a here, we have 3 a's here. So factor out your a. You're left with 2 of those. So there's 1a times 2 of those a's. That's 3 of those a's, right? A to the first power times a to the second power. You add the exponents. That's a to the third power. We factored an a out. So a to the first power times a to the second power is a to the third power. Make sure you check your work that way. If you took a 3a out, this one, you're left with that subtraction sign and 1, right? All right, so let's write this better. 3a times 4a squared minus 1. All right, and then your denominator. You can take a 6 out of a 12 and a 6. There's 2 a's here, 3 a's here. You could take 2 out. Take the lowest amount of a's out. So 6a squared. If you take 6 out, you have 2 left. If you take 2 a's out, you got 1 a left. Because 2 times this a squared times a to the first power, 2 plus 1 is 3. Use your exponent rules. If you take 6a squared out, you're left with, you divide 6a squared into 6a squared, you have 1 plus 1. Make sure you're careful. Keep going. We can also factor this out as well. We can use our difference of squares rule. All right, so let's keep going. We can actually end up dividing this as well. So 3 goes into 6 2 times, so 1 over 2. A divided by a squared. There's 1 more a at the bottom. There's 1 here. 1 subtract 2 is just 1 left over. 1. So that's how you simplify this expression, 1/2 a. Now, just copy what you see here at the bottom. We're going to factor out the top. Well, if you take a 2, take an a, and then you also take a 1. There's a difference of squares formula. You need to notice it and use your formula sheet. If you see an a squared minus a b squared like that, then it's a minus b and a plus b. Difference of squares. There's a square here, there's a square here. It's 1 squared. a will be 2a, because 2a squared is 4. If you take 2a squared, you get 4a squared. If you take 1 and you square it, you get a 1. And it's just opposite. It's like this. So this looks great. Now we can cancel some things out. The whole point is to keep breaking it down until you can cancel out. You're left with 2a minus 1 up top. You're left with 2a at the bottom. No, you cannot cancel those out because there's a subtraction of a 1 there. You can't do that. And there's your answer. I think that's correct. It is correct. Look at us. 2a minus 1 over 2a. That's number 6. Okay. If this stuff freaks you out, you need to let me know if it's confusing to you, right? Number 7, 6n squared plus 8n plus 2 divided by 2n squared minus 2. 6n squared plus 8n plus 2 divided by... They're all a little bit different. That's why we're going over these examples. All right, factor, factor, factor. Let's factor our numerator. We can take a 2 out. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 8. You got it 4 times. 2 goes into 2 once. 2n squared minus 2. You can take a 2 out. You're left with n squared. 2 goes into negative 2 1 time. Keep that negative. We probably can factor this out. How would you factor it out? Well, you're going to have to do your x method. A times c, 3 times 1. What times what gives me a times c, but add it gives me b? Well, you can try what times what gives me 3, but add it gives me b? 3 times 1, right? That works. Those are your magic numbers. So go ahead and copy this 2 down and rewrite this trinomial 3n squared. Instead of writing 4n, you're gonna write 3 plus 1n. You're gonna write your magic numbers. Those are your magic numbers in place of the 4n. Now you can go ahead and give me a divider. Don't worry about this 2 right now. We're going to use it later. We're going to take a 3n out. There's a squared and there's an n. So you can take one of those n's out, and then you're left with an n, because 3n times n is 3n squared. So double check your work. 3n goes into 3n once. Bring this 2 down. Don't forget about that 2. We could take 1 out. You're left with n plus 1. Double check your work. 1 times n is 1n. 1 times 1 is 1. Now you're going to group what looks alike. This looks alike. Here. So group these. As 1. Group the outsiders. 3n plus 1. Bring this 2 down, don't forget about it. Bring back your denominator. Bring this 2 down. Factor n squared minus 1. We just did that over here. Very similar. N squared minus 1. You could take an n plus 1 and an n minus 1. That is a rule. Difference of squares. Minus and plus. N times n is n squared. 1 times 1, or 1 times a negative 1 is a negative 1. And if you add a 1, subtract 1, you have no middle term. That's how you factor out n squared minus 1 into n plus 1 times n minus 1. This is beautiful. We got some things canceling out. You're left with 3n plus 1 up top and n minus 1 at the bottom. This one could be a little bit difficult. I'm not going to even sit here and lie. Just go ahead and study what we did for number 7. Soak it up. Pause the video if you need to. Ooh, did it right. I'm actually kind of like excited about this because I've not done this in so long. Because it's my first year teaching Algebra 2, so it's been 20 plus years. But yeah. All right, that's number 7. Number 8. 45 minus 5w. 3w squared minus 28w plus 9. Don't be afraid of these problems. You can factor out of 5. So let's factor 5 out. You're left with 5 goes into 45 9 times. 5 goes into negative 5w, negative 1w times. Double check what you did. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5, and you keep your w. Always double check that. I do that too, and I've been doing math for a long time. Okay, so now, can we factor 3 out of 3 and 28 and 9? No, 3 does not go into 28. That won't work. So, your best bet is to multiply 3 times 9. Create your X method. 3 times 9, A times C, right? That's 27. But add it gives you negative 28. What times what gives you 27, but add it gives you negative 28. It's pretty obvious, right? Maybe try negative 27 times a negative 1. Okay, what is negative 27 times negative 1? A positive 27, correct. What's negative 27 plus negative 1? It's a negative 28. Bingo. Put your magic numbers here and replace them with the middle term. So we're going to rewrite this polynomial, 3w squared. Instead of writing the middle term here, you're going to write your magic numbers. So minus 27w and minus 1w plus 9. Create your division, your little divider. And go ahead and work each side by factoring out. You can take a 3 out and a w out. 3 into 3 is 1. You're left, you could take a w out as well. There we go. 3 goes into 3 once. And then w, taken out of a w squared, leaves you with 1w left. 3 goes into negative 27, negative 9 times. You took a w out, so you're done there. Double check. What is 3 times 1? 3. What is w times w? W squared. Double check what you did. 3 times negative 9 is negative 27. What is, well, then you have a w, right? All right, out of this one, you can take a negative 1 out. Actually, let's just take a 1. Well, we should take a negative 1 out. Okay, negative 1, take it out. You're left with w, right? Because negative 1 times w is negative 1w. Take a negative 1 out of 9. Well, you're left with positive. Nope, you're left with a negative 9, right? double check. What's negative 1 times a negative 9? It's a positive 9. Group your like terms. 1w minus 9 or w minus 9, same thing. Those are the same. Group the same as 1. Group the outsiders as 1. Group the same. These are the same as 1. Group the outsiders. 3w minus 1 as 1 as well. Together like that, right? So that's the bottom. The top is right here. Let's go ahead and rewrite this. 5 times 9 minus 1w divided by what we just got here. All right, we learned something about this. We don't need this 1, by the way, so let's just rewrite it. All right, 9 minus w or w minus 9. That cancels out to be a negative 1. Times this 5. Keep this 3w minus 1. 5 times negative 5, or 5 times negative 1 is negative 5 over 3w minus 1. Bingo. Look at us. All right. So there's a lot of steps, but you got this. There you go. Okay. That's number 8. So that's how you simplify. Now let's go ahead and go over to multiplying rational expressions. All right, so now we're at multiplying. You can like make a break in your page and put multiplying. Okay, you've got number 9. 6x squared, y cubed. Divided by 2x squared, y squared. Make sure you write it correctly. Double check what you wrote. 6x squared, y cubed, 2x squared, y squared. 10x cubed, y 4, 8. Okay. This looks crazy, right? But multiply, then simplify. Or you factor everything out first, then simplify. This one's easier. So 6 times 10 is 60. 2 times 18 is 36. Okay, let's do the top first. What is x squared times x cubed? Add your exponents. Use your product rule, right? What's y cubed times y to the 4th power? Add them, add the exponents. All right. What is x squared times, well, there's no x squared over here, so it's right, x squared. Okay, what's y squared times y squared? It's y to the 4th power. So now this is your new function. It's easier to deal with, right? Because it's all singular. What is x to the 5th power divided by x squared? Well, you subtract your exponents. 7 minus 4, 60 divided by 36. Well, 6 can go into 60 10 times. And 6 can go into 36 6 times. We can keep going. 2 can go into 10 5. 2 can go into 6 3. There you go. Keep going down. 5/3 times x cubed times y cubed. And that's it. Okay. So you try number 10 on your own. Pause the video. All right, let's go ahead and try number 11. Number 11 is a little bit different. Number 10, you should have gotten This right here. Did you get that? If not, figure out why. Okay, number 11. 4x squared minus 4x divided by 2x squared plus 4x minus 6 times x squared plus x minus 6 divided by 4x squared plus 8x. Double check you wrote it correctly every time. Okay, so you have to factor out. It tells you, factor everything first. Okay, for binomials. Let's go ahead and try this one first. You could take a 4 and an x out. You're left with x. Double check. 4x times x is 4x squared. You took a 4x out, so you're left with 1. 4x times -1 is negative 4x. Okay, you could take a 2 out. Okay, what times what gives you -6, but adding gives you 1? It could be 6 times 1, 2 times 3, probably this one. So a -3 times, let's do a positive 3 times a 2. A 3 times a -2 will give you -6, but when you add them, 3 minus 2 will give you a 1. So it'll be x plus 3, x minus 2. You can take a 4x out. The most x's you can take is one of those x's out because that's the least amount of x's, right? So 4x out. You're left with an x plus 2. 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times 2 is 8x. Double check what you just did. I cannot write that down. Double check the factors you took out. You have to double check your factoring. That's huge. All right, so cool, we're getting there, right? Let's factor this out at the bottom. Let's copy everything down that you see. Let's recopy. And this is the top, and this is the bottom. You can put everything on one line. All right, so what times what gives you a -3, but add it gives you a positive 2. Well, you only have a couple options here. It has to be this one. Double check your work. 3 times -1 is a -3. When you add 3 plus a -1 or 3 minus 1, you get 2. Okay, let's go ahead and cross out tops and bottoms. X minus 1, boop. This is the funnest part right here. X plus 3, boop. 4x, boop. You're left with nothing, or you're left with this one up top. You're left with a 2 at the bottom and x plus 2 at the bottom. Let's see if we did that correct. Again, I'm surprising my own self as I go, but I'm confident in what I'm doing. There we go. That is the answer. Look at that, look at that, look at that. All right, that's the simplified expression. What looks more simple? This or this? Well, obviously this, and that's because we factor everything out real good. Then you cancel everything that's the same top and bottom. Okay, so make sure you study that one and understand number 11. So that's how you do those ones, okay? We're gonna go and move on to dividing. Dividing's the same thing. You just multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to show you one problem. 5p cubed, 16p cubed divided by 35p squared q squared 8q5. 5p cubed, 16p3, 35p 2, blah, blah. Double check you worded correctly. Multiply by the reciprocal. So let's flip it, right? This is the same thing. Dividing, you can't do that. So you have to multiply by the reciprocal. You just flip it, right? And then do like normal. 5 times 8 is 40. You have your P, Q, Q5, that's Q6. 16 times 35, I have no idea what it is. 30, 18, 19, 22, 1, 5, 3, 0, 6, 5, 560, I hope. P3, P2, that's P5, and then Q2. 40 divided by 560. Whew, well, those cancel out. So you're left with 4 over 56, which is 2 over 23, 28. 8 plus 8 is 16, add a 1 is 56, okay. So those cancel out, 2 goes into 4 twice, 2 goes into 56, 28 times. You have 1p up top, 5 at the bottom, so you have 4 more at the bottom. You got 6 up top, 2 at the bottom, so you have 4 more up top. Oh, 1 over 14. You can keep going. There we go. Let's see if we got that one correct. Dividing. Yay! We did. So dividing is nothing different. You're just gonna flip it. We'll do number 16 together. That one's kind of hard. Or looks hard, right? K plus 3 divided by K divided by 4K plus 1 times 16K squared minus 1K plus 3. What do you need to do? Multiply by the, you got it, reciprocal. Just copy everything that you see times 1 over 4K plus 1. So we have divide, we have multiply. And so we're going to go ahead and multiply by the reciprocal. So multiply everything straight. No, first we want to factor out. We got K plus 3, we got times of 1. We can take out a 4K minus 1, and then 4K plus 1. Remember that rule, difference of squares. You see a difference, and there's the squares involved. So 4 times 4 is 16. K times K is 16. Negative 1 times a positive 1 is a 1, right? So negative 1, right? So remember your rules there. At the bottom, again, you can combine all these. K is at the bottom. You got 4K. Put everything in parentheses. Make it easier for yourself. Just rewriting everything you see here all together. Cancel out. Cancel, cancel. Cancel. It's like a game. This part's fun. You're left with 4K up top and a 1, right? You're left with K at the bottom. K minus 1. Yeah, look at this. All right, so that's how you do that one. All right, so that's dividing, and your job is to do the homework, right? Okay, moving on to adding and subtracting. Can be harder because you need to make sure you have the same denominator, same base. Adding and subtracting. All right, you can put your rules if you would like for multiplying. You can put like, make sure you put multiply, then these are multiplying, and then you simplify using your exponent rules. Those are your rules there. Multiply, simplify using your exponent rules. For these letters involved, like when you have a lot, like when you have like these polynomials like this, it was factor, right? You keep factoring, factor, and then you cancel out. Factor, then cancel out. Right? So write your steps. Okay, adding and subtracting. Okay, number 1, we've got 13a divided by 4a squared plus 5a divided by 4a squared. If you've got the same base, same denominator, you just add the numerator and keep your base. Add the numerator and keep your base. Write that down. Add numerator, keep the base. 13a plus 5a is 18a. Keep your base. That's how you add fractions, right? Like normal. Number 2, 9x plus 12 minus 7x plus 2. Are they the same base? Yeah, same denominator. Subtract. 9x minus 7x is 2x. 12 minus 2 is 10. Keep your base. You can put 2. Everything can divide by 2. So 2 goes into, divide everything by 2. These are all have a commonality of a 2. 2 goes into 2 once. A 1 and keep your x. We could put 1. 2 goes into 10, 5. 2 goes into 16, 8. So 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 10, 5. 2 goes into 16, 8. You don't need to put the 1. Just put x plus 5 divided by 8. All right, number 3. Number 3 is factoring. Make sure you're writing neat, all right? All right, so same base, cool. Add what's up top. So y squared, 8y plus 2y is 10y. And then your 21. Add your like terms. Keep your base. Factor. So you need to add. Keep your base. You might need to factor. You might need to cancel out. So look at everything there. There's your steps there. So what times what gives me 21, but add it gives me 10? What times what gives me 21, but add it gives me 10? You've only got a couple options. 7 times 3 and 21 times 1. Bingo. There it is. So plus 7 plus 3. Y squared minus 9. Difference of squares. Y times y will give you y squared. 3 times 3 will give you 9. So use your formula chart. Difference of squares. Negative, positive. Cancel out. Boop. You're left with the y plus 7 up top and the y minus 3 at the bottom. These can be fun for some people. Everyone's different, but it can be lots of fun doing these. What if you don't have the same base? This is probably the hardest part of this whole lesson. You have to make them the same base. So, number 7, unlike bases. 15 divided by 2x minus 16 times 3x. We need to both make these a 6x, right? That's the lowest common multiple, I guess. Or you can just multiply 2 times 3. But let's make them both a 6x. How do you change 2x to be a 6x? What do you need to multiply it by? A 3. So 2 times 3. 2x times 3 will give you 6x. So 3 times 15 is 45. 3 goes into 6 twice. 2 times 16 is 32. 45 minus 32 is that 13? Yep. I think that's correct. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, I'm right. All right. If you don't know how to make same base, you got to come see me on that one. Number 8. 4a divided by a squared minus 7 divided by 8a. Okay, you cannot subtract different bases, so let's make them the same base. We've got 4a. I'm going to use an x. I don't like it looks like a 9, so let's do 4x. If you see a's, don't use a's, y'all. Just use an x. If you see an a. 4x divided by x squared minus 7 divided by 8x. All right, we want to make these the same. So they need to both, you can multiply them to each other. So 8 times 1, right? So it's 8. You use the highest power, 8 squared. They both will go into an 8 squared. So x squared goes into x squared. X squared goes into 8x squared 8 times, right? It's times 8. So take this 8 and multiply the 4x times 8, which is 32x. 8x goes into 8x squared x times. 8x times x. 8x times x is x squared, so multiplying it by an x, right? So multiply this 7 times an x. (32x minus 7x is, what was that, 25? 25, 26, 22, 32. All right. 25x divided by 8x squared. Now you need to go back in and take some of these x's out, right? And make sure, can you put a 2 into 25 and 8 or a 3? No, you cannot simplify this fraction, so it'll be 25 divided by 8, that's fine. X divided by x squared means you have an x up top and 2 x's at the bottom. So you're left with an x at the bottom. 25 divided by 8x. Or you could say 1 minus 2 is 1, negative 1. So you could also write it like this. This 1 minus 2 is a negative 1. This goes at the bottom. So that's how you do those kind of problems. That was number 8. Let's try number 9 and number 11. And we'll be done with this video. You do the rest. Number 9 and number 11. I had to check it to see if I got that answer correct. I did. All right, number 9. Remember, if you're seeing A's, don't use A's. Okay. K squared plus 16 divided by 5k minus 10 minus 4k minus 2. Double check your entry. Squared 5 minus 4k. Same. How can we transform this one to look like this one? Well, multiply it. This will go into this one, so we can use this as our base for both of them. K minus 2 goes into 5k minus 2 how many times? Right? This goes into this how many times? Well, 5 and then 5. So we could say k minus 2 times 5, right? Because 5 times k is 5k, and 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. So it goes in 5 times. So 4 times 5 is 20. Yeah? And then this one stays the same. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and subtract. K squared plus 16 minus 20. 16 minus 20 is at negative 4. We're not done. We need to factor out again. We have a difference of squares, so you can take this right here. K plus 2, k minus 2 will give you this up top. Let's go ahead and factor this out. Take a 5 out. Left with a k. 5 goes into negative 10 2 times. Factor this out. Factor 5 out. Factor the numerator out. Why? You want to cancel out. This is the whole point. You want to keep breaking it down. You're left with k plus 2 up top and a 5 at bottom. Hey. All right, that's number 9. Whew. Let's try number 11. Okay, we're going to use this one because most likely this one will go into this one. So let's go ahead and rewrite same base. You can open the door all the way, please. Okay, same base. How many times does x plus 2 go into this right here, right? Well, you have to go backwards. Use your division. How many times does x plus 2 go into x squared plus 5x plus 6? Well, x goes into x squared, x times. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is plus 2x. You're subtracting everything. Let's see here. What is that? 5 minus 2 is 3x. Bring this down. X goes into 3x 3 times. 3 times x, 3 times 2, and there's no remainder, okay? So x plus 2 goes into this, x plus 3 times. You are converting this denominator to this one and changing your numerator, right? Okay, I'm gonna add them. X squared plus x minus 5 plus 3. then keep your denominator. Okay, factor. So we can cancel. Yes, keep it down, please. 1 second. What times what gives you -2, but add it gives you 1? What times what gives you -2, but add it gives you 1? We've got -2 times 1. You've got 2 times -1. So it has to be this one right here. +2. Please keep it down, Kanai and James. So x plus 2, x minus 1. Double check what you did. 2 times -1 is -2. But when you add it, if you take 2 minus 1, it gives you 1. Let's do the bottom. What times what gives you 6, but add it gives you 5? Well, a 2 and a 3, or a 6 and a -1. But these are positives, so it's 2 and 3. Cancels out. You're left with x minus 1 over x plus 3 at the bottom. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and finish your worksheet. If you have a question about one of them, let me know. And on an ACP exam, most likely it's going to be multiple choice, so you can grab and match. Good luck on your assignment.